Hi everyone and welcome to Interchange Book 2, and in this first unit we're going to be doing a quick review of the past tense. So let's listen to some dialogue. Clarissa and Austin are new roommates at the University of California.
Look at all this stuff. I need to unpack. I'm sorry about the mess, Austin.
Oh, don't worry about it. So, Clarissa, where are you from again?
Well, I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in St. Louis.
Awesome. I love Chicago. I went there when I was in high school.
Oh, really? I don't really remember it. I was only about 5 years old when we moved.
Why did your family move to St. Louis?
My dad got a new job.
Was it difficult moving to a new place?
Well, it wasn't hard for me, but I remember that my older sister had problems adjusting to her new school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wasn't very happy. She didn't have a lot of friends at first.
That's too bad.
Well, she and I were always good friends. We did everything together. We were both pretty sad when she left for college. I was still in high school then.
Where did your sister go to college?
Well, she studied here. That's why I came here too.
Cool.
Why did you come here, Austin?
Actually, I'm from California.
Oh, where were you born?
I was born here in Sacramento.
Did you grow up here too?
Yep, born and raised.
Really? That's great. Maybe you can show me around town.
I'd love to. Let's hurry up and finish unpacking. I know a great pizza place a couple of blocks from here.
So in the conversation, Clarissa and Austin were asking lots of questions in the past tense. Some questions with the passive be in the auxiliary, and some questions with the passive do in the auxiliary. So an example of a question with the passive be in the auxiliary would be, where were your keys? And a question with the passive do in the auxiliary, what did you see? So in this video we're going to look at the structure in a little bit more detail. So let's look at questions that use the passive be in a little bit more detail. So let's have a look at this question. It's a yes or no question, and it's, was the weather nice? And remember, when be is in the auxiliary position, it acts as the main verb. There is nothing here in the verb position. And the answer to these yes or no questions would be either yes it was or no it wasn't, okay? And when we make these short answers, they always correspond to the auxiliary, okay? So was the weather nice? Yes it was. No it wasn't. So what happens when we use the passive do? Well, let's have a look at this question. It's another yes or no question, and as you can see, do is in the auxiliary and it's in the past tense, okay? And this time we do have a verb in the verb position, but it's in its base form. So the question is, did you watch cartoons? And the answer, again, it corresponds with the auxiliary position. So you can say yes I did or no I didn't. So now let's look at questions that aren't yes or no questions. So by that I mean there is something here in the question word position. So this question asks, how was the weather? And we have the passive be in the auxiliary position. And again, if the passive be is in the auxiliary position, it acts as the main verb, okay? We don't have anything in the verb position. And the response, well, you could say it was nice and cool. And we use was again, okay? It's the main verb. It was nice and cool. How was the weather? It was nice and cool. So one thing that's confusing about this structure can be when do is in the main verb position in its base form, okay? So if you asked, what did you do? You could respond, I did my homework, okay? And this is fine because we do homework, okay? Do is the verb that we usually use with homework. But you couldn't say, I did football. This is incorrect, okay? What we would say instead is, I played football. So sometimes when do is in the main verb position, we have to remember which verb we usually use. For example, we play football or we watch TV, okay? We don't do these things. Okay, so let's do some practice. So what we have is a response here, and we want to decide what the question is. So the response is, I was 13 years old. So first we need to decide if this was a yes or no question, okay? And it wasn't because the answer doesn't contain yes or no. The response is 13 years old. So the question word can't be where because that's about location. So it must be how old. This is how we ask for age. Okay, and the verb is was. So we know that the main verb was be. And in questions, be always comes here in the auxiliary position. So how old were? And the response is I. So we need to have you in the subject. And because we have be in the auxiliary, we won't have a verb, so turn or grow up doesn't work. But we can have something in the object position. So how old were you when you had your first kiss? So in this next one, the response is she dated Warren. Okay, and again, this isn't a yes or no question because we don't have yes or no in the response. So first, what will the question word be? Well, again, it's not a location, so we can't use where. The response is Warren, who is a person, so we'll use who. The main verb is to date, so we can't use be in the auxiliary position, so it must be did. The subject of the response is she, so the subject in our question must be she. And the main verb is date, so we need to put date in the verb position. And finally, just as some extra information, last summer. So who did she date last summer? She dated Warren. And that's everything for this video. So please try the activities below. Thank you. Bye.